business? All right, I'd like to open up the Village Hall Design Committee meeting, special meeting called. I show the time at 12:05 on the 5th. And do we need to approve the agenda?
Yes.
Okay, I
We
need a
have
motion.
we have a full quorum of
We
meeting.
do have a full quorum.
And we have a
of
guest.
two- And a guest, Andy Wortman, which doesn't constitute a quorum, since we have more council members. So I need a motion to approve the agenda as stated.
So moved.
All's in favor?
Aye.
All right.
We
Motion
get to
passes. Next up, what do we got?
Discussion and consideration of interior, exterior, and furniture finishes.
All the things.
So,
All the things.
So the objective for this meeting was to really go over the light elements, that the landscaping light.
Yep.
And I'll just kind of let you jump in. You've got a bigger map, so if y'all want to kind of tell him where you want them or what the plan is, if you want to go over.
Did you get me a brochure of fixtures?
You know what? It might be out of my truck actually.
Okay.
There's a website. The fixtures that I had the brochure from. I know you're not gonna like because they're very contemporary, modern kind of.
I like contemporary and modern, but,
But it's not gonna go with So the website, and I haven't even looked at the website, so I'll get that for you
Okay.
in a minute, and you guys we can look at the website if you want to do it today, or you can do it again. But preliminarily. And Joe and I have discussed this on site, and what I've done so far is I bought 500 foot of wire and a controller.
Okay.
It's a 300 watt controller. But after assessing the site, when you're standing in front of the main steps,
Yep.
okay, the left side of the main steps, there are 3 islands basically.
You say islands?
Yeah, islands, like there's concrete around them with, there are sleeves on that side to get under the sidewalks, but there's no sleeve under the main sidewalk in front of the main steps.
Okay.
So I would have to go all the way around the building and then back to get to those islands from that one controller.
So we need 2 controllers.
So that's what we came up with. I can do a small 100 watt controller underneath her window. There's an outlet right there that we can run lights in that quadrant,
Okay.
which it gives
Makes
us
sense.
400 watts of capacity, which is
Plenty.
more than enough to do whatever we need.
Okay.
I was considering just doing a perimeter around the entire building against the wall and into those areas because we're probably going to have, my guess, walkway lighting along the sidewalk.
I don't think we do we, Christina?
Say that one more time.
I was thinking that we might want some pathway lighting along the
We don't.
front sidewalk.
We don't have any. We don't have any out. We have like some poles, right? Like out in
No,
the...
I'm saying for us, for the landscape.
No,
lighting.
I know, but what I'm asking Christina is we don't have anything in outside right now.
Right, no, there are no
except
pictures
except-
on the
Yeah,
building
I
yet.
believe so, yes.
Okay.
I'd have to pull the plan, the photometric.
But the porch has ceiling cans
Yeah,
in it and sconces on the door, but that's the only lighting that I know of.
But that's what I'm wondering. Do we have? I feel like we had like a post, like somewhere.
Well,
But if
even-
we don't, then yes, I think we need.
well, even if we do, for
We
aesthetics,
still need.
I think it would look good
I do too.
with aesthetics. So then I don't think that it matters that we just want to run the wire along the sidewalk so we can add
I agree.
just for aesthetics.
I agree.
At least, and then if we need the light, then we got the light
We
anyway.
have it.
But so that was my plan, is to run the wire there along those areas. And then I can bring this around to this one by the pecan tree. I can get to that because the sidewalk's not in yet, where the line goes up to the
On the right side.
generator on the hill, so I can get around that. The other thing that I identified as something that we probably want, I spoke with Derek about it and then I spoke to Joe about it, is the second floor atrium. They make fixtures that can go up on the roof that can uplight that.
Oh yeah, that'd be nice.
That's what we thought, it would be a really nice look. So I can just run wire up on the roof and then up to it, go around it, and put those 4 corner fixtures in. I think that's going to be really, really nice looking.
There too.
those will be inconspicuous, just,
Little, just,
yeah, just that we don't have to pick anything, we just need something that'll wash the wall, so they're
Okay.
utilitarian type of things that'll blend
Okay.
into the roof.
the roof's black, right?
Yes. So, the main thing that we want to do, I think, as Joe and I were looking at it, on the side that faces the road, we were looking at uplighting the corners of the building,
Mm-hmm.
and
That's the
then
main road on the side where the roundabouts are. not
yeah,
the
where it
other
says
road.
Village of Marvin across the front. Yeah,
Don't they
it
both,
faces
don't they
Newtown
both say
Road.
that now?
Yeah,
They do,
it's up
but
there.
when he
Look
says
good.
road, he's referring to Newtown. Road.
Newtown, yeah. So that side of the building, which is the front of the building.
Yeah.
Okay, so lighting those corners, which would wall wash. And then we were looking at the posts on the porch. There are 6 of them.
On the Newtown Road porch?
Yes.
Okay.
There are 6 of them. We thought we would do 4 of them
And just space it out far end, and then 2 right near
by
the
the
thing.
sidewalk.
There's 2 other ones. I don't think we can always add more later, but
Yeah.
4 would be fine for an uplight. Because usually you want to do something like that. You want to illuminate the posts, and then you also want to illuminate corners of a building. Typically, is
Right.
what you do. Or you can do just a whitewash. Like if you ever drive by at night and see the whole
Yeah.
Yeah,
church lit up, you can do that too.
I wouldn't want their power bill for those 2 big.
Well,
Pound
LED
lights.
now is not gonna is not gonna make a difference, but you know, I mean, it's
but-
not gonna be a big deal.
So those, well, the thing about the low voltage landscape lights is that if you have one light go out, it's really easy to repair it or replace it
right.
versus these big ones that take out the whole building. So,
I
That
like,
is-
I like the subtleness of like,
yeah,
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, we'd get something significant enough, probably at least minimum of 20 watt on each one.
yeah, I mean, 20 watt worth of light, but there'll be
Right.
3 watts worth of power
Right,
consumption.
But
yeah.
what I'm saying is, you want a
Yeah.
minimum, maybe even more, but it's,
Right.
with LEDs, it's gonna be a lot less powerful.
So, the building, I think we've pretty well got nailed down.
okay.
My question to you all is, while we're doing this, do we want any uplighting on any trees?
I think so.
Here's what, I agree with you, but here's what, until we get to, once we get a CO, we get that, boom, and then we say, okay, we're gonna do lighting, and you do lighting, what's beautiful about this, you can add lights wherever you want.
Yeah.
But,
I just don't know where
to
to
your
put 'em.
point, he's just gotta make sure a line is
Yeah, I'm
extended
trying to
out to
design this to have capacity and line.
Yeah, so we want you to
But I think the
circle
answer
the
is
whole
yes.
building,
Right.
and then where we can tie a line easily into a tree if we wanted. Like, I could see us lighting up that big tree on the corner.
The pecan, yeah,
So not
absolutely
the
that.
pecan,
Oh.
the big tree on the corner, the big oak tree.
Oh, out by the
Yeah, just
traffic
three separate. I did that
Oh, yeah,
down at the beach, and I have 3 lights. They're probably about 40, 50 watt, and they go up and they just illuminate the whole tree,
Do we,
which is really
Yeah,
nice.
that, and then maybe down the road after everything's cleared out, the other 2 big heritage oaks, because I think our plan is to maybe put a bench or something out there for people to be able to utilize that after we clear it, before we put the farmer's market out there, and we can run a line out there and uplight those.
You can run lines anytime,
Anywhere, right.
And you can even do it after. This
We
is
can
just for
add-
the main line
Yeah.
for the uplighting, the walkways, and the uplighting of the building
So-
only. At this point, is where I'm at.
So what I want to do though, if we're going to uplight, and this is the reason why I asked this, the pecan, we definitely probably want to uplight that, right? The one that we saved in the front yard, and then there's or backyard, whatever. And then there is a tree going in this island that's right in front of the steps, the parking island. So I think one in there. So what I want to do is while that conduit's open into that for the irrigation, I want to get my wire in there. I'm just planning ahead for those 2 trees to be uplifted.
So, but that
you're
was,
talking about here and here?
That there and the one over on the right side, the one that we saved, Kim,
I don't know what we fucking
the
saved,
big-
sorry.
the big tall pecan tree that's in front of the building.
Over here?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. That's
But-
what
but-
those are the two that I'm looking at right now, just get wired to those islands.
Yeah,
I'm
but
thinking
is
that would
that
be
the main wire or is
Yeah.
that the, okay, so.
That would be a main wire that would go under the sidewalk right now to get in there.
At
So I
the
just
end
want
of
to
the
make sure
day,
we do that.
we can still get to it and it's just digging if.
Right, and I'd rather get the,
If you have the wire, I would
Yeah.
say just go ahead and lay it in there and we know it's in there and just roll it
Right.
up and tie it up
But
until.
yes, I think the answer is yes. We wanna do some landscape lighting once
right.
we can see what we've
We
got.
can always get, because I'm putting a conduit across this sidewalk back on the generator side
Yep,
to run cable through there, we can always tie in and run more. If we wanna go down this backside here and uplight any of this backside of the parking lot, we
Do
can
that.
get to it from there.
okay.
So I'm just trying to look at,
And the smaller box by Christina's office, that will handle if we wanna do that side, or do we just need to go ahead and put a little bit bigger box in
I mean-
capacity?
this is the thing, you know, how much are we gonna do out front here? So if we're gonna go up here and maybe out here and, you know, maybe over here, then I would probably just go ahead and do 200-300 watt boxes.
I would much rather go ahead and just
Right.
make sure we have enough capacity, so we're not like, fuck, we gotta go do this thing.
Well, what I would, whatever's gonna have more lights, I wouldn't have a problem going up
I
to
like
like a
lights.
600 watt, just to be safe if we ever wanna add anything down the road.
Well, okay, let's put it in perspective, Joe. A 300 watt transformer will run 100 fixtures.
And
So
that's.
if you got
that's-
two of them, you got 200
So do
fixtures.
two
Yeah.
300 instead of a 400 and a 100.
Right.
That's fine.
Yeah,
I'm
I
okay
think-
with that. But we're not doing any of this other than the basic stuff, cause
Right.
it's not even in the budget,
Right.
we haven't approved.
Right, so what I'm saying is that two 300 watt boxes will run.
I'm fine with that.
I think
That's 600 watts of capacity. That
In the past,
you know,
in the past it wouldn't do it, now it will.
Yeah,
with
that's
LED.
200 light fixtures because they average about 3 watts of consumption with the LEDs nowadays.
So what we need to do is get on whatever, the website or whatever,
Pick
and
out
start
fixtures.
picking out fixtures based
Right.
on what, you know, okay, you need, so what we'll need from you, Andy, is how many path lights do we need? How many uplights do we need? And then, how many uplights for trees, if that's gonna be different than an uplight for a post or a
Well,
corner of
there's
a building.
so here's the thing that you guys need to decide. There's two ways we can do the wall wash. We can either do spotlights or we can do wells. And what I mean by wells is they're little plastic cups with a light in it that shines straight up. That gives a broader wash. Or you can do spotlights, and you can do narrower or wider with spotlights.
Here's what I would say, and this is, you're not gonna know until you test it and see, and because you can see it on the building, but my thought is, put a spotlight up it, take a look at it, see, and then put the thing up in it and say which one looks better, and we go with those.
Yeah, we can do that. So
Because I don't wanna buy a bunch of wall lights and go, oh, this isn't gonna work, or a bunch of spotlights and say this isn't gonna work. We've gotta determine based on what we
So-
have, which is easy to hook up.
all right, so what I want you guys to do is pick the spotlights that you want to use, whatever look you want, and then well lights are well lights. They're just a plastic box that goes in the ground. So we can do either one, but we'll have the spotlight picked out that we want to use.
Spotlights, well lights, and walkway lights.
Pathway lights.
Pathway lights.
Do we have any pole lights, Christina, in the plan?
That's what we're looking for. I'm pretty sure we don't.
Pole
Like-
lights for what?
Pedestrian lights,
like a not like a crazy ugly one, like a really pretty
You're talking like
decorative.
one that's up 6-7 feet?
Yeah.
Lamp posts. I don't think we have any of those. And
They don't have it in the, this is not for that, that's
Right.
that's for
I did-
major electrical.
I know, but
not
that's why I
that.
was asking Christina if there were any in the plan.
I don't think there are.
So there's
Yeah.
no parking lot lights
That's
per
what I
se.
was-
The reason why I wanted to wait on all this is because once we get the actual sconces and everything
Then we
up,
can see how
we're
much
gonna
it
see what we
illuminates.
have, and
Yeah.
then we say, okay, we need lighting here, here, and here, and then we should be good.
Do we
so
not have are the sconces not on the front of the building?
Not yet.
they're not hung yet. The boxes
They're
are
just
there.
not yet. They're not on yet.
Okay.
Yeah. But they're there.
They won't hang those until the very end, so they don't get damaged.
Yeah, because they're still, well, they're making paint touch up, we're probably doing
I
that
don't see
last,
it.
so.
Okay.
The paint's all done. It's just they just aren't going to hang fixtures, so they don't
DRB
get.
would have not have missed
Okay.
that.
That's fine, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so I agree with Joe. I think we need to, I would like to do like a spotlight on one end and a well light on the other end and see what they look like difference wise. So it, like, I can compare them
Yeah.
the same way.
That's easy enough to do, because we'll probably use spotlights in other areas, so buying one and a well lights are cheap, because they're just a plastic pole,
Can I-
basically, so.
Okay, because I am concerned about like the parking lot not being lit up. And I know we're talking about doing some like pathway lights, and when you guys say pathway lights, like this is the ground and it's like a cute little like, you know, thing with a little hood on it. Like,
It shines on a
however-
sidewalk, that's what it's designed for.
Do we want to have anything on the opposite side of the parking lot to at least light up the parking lot a little bit?
That's not landscape lighting, but it's lighting that would probably have to pull from the major electrical unit, which is gonna be on this side,
So that's
which
something.
may have us running all the way around to get to there, because
I know.
boring under this right now is like too late.
That's why I'm asking.
We
the question.
we probably should have looked at this prior to, but
I can't
If
believe
we're
the
gonna do-
engineers and architects didn't.
I really thought we had some like
if
holes.
yeah, because there's nothing has been installed. It would have been installed by now if it was on the plan. So if we're going to do something like that, that's going to be something that we do after we get the CO, and we'll have to hire an electrician to do the work to do that, if we want to do that. I would say that my own opinion is that if we were going to do anything like that, I would only think about maybe 3 or 4 lamp posts on corners, and that would be about it, because I don't think we need intrusive lighting there. I think we just need enough so that people don't break their neck getting to their cars after a meeting.
I agree. Okay. And so we'll just wait and see what, I was just asking.
You know,
Okay.
I mean, just like a 6 or 8 foot decorative lamp post,
Yeah.
maybe in the corners and on the islands,
We'll
possibly.
just look at
that's
it one night,
Yeah.
and just say, okay,
But I think-
here's what we need.
I think
But I
there
want to
are-
look at it after the power's on and we have all the other lights
Right.
done to see how
And
much it's
by the
pushing
way,
onto
that
the
should
parking lot.
be sometime the end of next
It's
week,
not gonna push much on the.
according to the electrician, that they'll be able to get power.
I was looking
turned
for
on.
stuff, wasn't taking notes, but did y'all get the gist of where you want the uplighting?
Yes, we got the gist of that part of it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not really gonna matter, because we're gonna pick it as we go. We're
Okay.
gonna look at it first and then say, okay, we want here, here, and here, and then it's a matter of ordering it and just tying them in, so.
And you're gonna get the website for her to look at the fixtures? and-
Yeah, I have it, I think
Okay.
I have it in the truck. If I don't, then I'll get it to them.
How do y'all wanna go about deciding the fixtures so that you can proceed with ordering what you need?
We're gonna pick one
Okay,
and do a well light and we're gonna go out there and light it
Compare
up.
okay,
See which one we wanna do.
okay.
And then we'll come back and then order
Well,
stuff.
there's no huge hurry on picking the
Okay.
fixtures for this. The big
Just
thing
wanted
is me getting
the
the
wire.
wire in the ground and the transformers on, because really, we don't even have power to run them yet.
So do y'all want to designate Mayor Pro Tem to pick the fixtures, or do y'all want to have another meeting to talk about fixtures?
Joe and I can do it.
We can do it.
Yeah, you
Okay.
can,
Yeah,
you
it's
can
something
handle it. I
like
mean,
that.
that's
Won't
easy.
even require a meeting, she can just send me an email and say, I like this, this, and this, and I say, I like this, and if we.
Okay.
That's fine.
So,
But wouldn't that constitute a meeting between the subcommittee?
Yeah, since there's only 2 of you.
If you two are here,
they're talking about sending an email. We can just schedule a quick meeting.
Okay.
It's not a big deal.
She can send an email to her, you can send that email to me.
There you
I can
go.
say this is
yes,
and
that's
then we'll
that's
avoid
if you
this.
don't want to do a meeting that way, that's the way you do
Okay.
it.
Don't talk.
All right, so are you good to close the door on that lighting?
Yep.
Okay. So he's looking for the exterior photometric. I really honestly don't think we have one. I don't think
Okay.
you're gonna find
I
it.
swear to God, I thought we had talked about that we had one.
We
were
had
looking
discussed it at one point, but I don't know that one ever got
Well,
approved.
when the three of us were meeting about like fixtures on the building, I swear we were like, oh, this one has a matching post that would be great out in
I
the.
remember that too.
Yeah, I do
Yeah,
too.
I remember that too, actually.
So when
That's
you guys,
the only reason I thought that we had some somewhere
But
in
what
the.
amazes me is the architect didn't include that in, hey, you guys want to consider lighting out in the parking lot for parking, because we have
Yeah.
night meetings and stuff, so.
I'll look
It's
into
a
it and I'll
mess.
ask the
This is-
architect.
I'll have to look at our ordinance too, but most general parking lot standards require lighting. It's a safety thing.
Yeah, exactly.
So why didn't they
I'm sure
include
it's
it?
in
So I would guess
that may be
that
it.
there is they took somewhere along that entranceway here, and they bore, there's a line that we could feed this, so we don't have to do this after the fact, that feeds.
I don't think so, but I will find out. I mean, you would know more than me, but I don't think there's electrical.
Why they don't do that is just a standard, it's the
No,
cost
if-
of a plastic pipe to run it
if-
underneath.
If there was power, it'd be stubbed up. Where you'd
No,
be
I'm
able to
not
see
saying
it.
power, I'm
He's just saying, he's just saying a
He's
conduit.
saying-
It would be stubbed up. Because the conduit, what they do, so that they
Yeah.
can find it, they turn it up and
Right.
stick it out of the ground.
Right,
So if there was going to be future use for it, it'd be sticking out of the ground somewhere.
well.
So there's none of that out
Then
there.
that's a miss on the architect's point. If they're requiring outdoor lighting for that, if that's a,
He
Wow,
was
yeah,
just
that's
looking
it.
at the DRB approval because that was a very, very complicated process, if y'all remember.
Yeah.
I'm telling
I
you, there
remember
was,
it
I'm
coming up in
telling
that
you,
DRB
there are.
discussion.
I was about to say, DRB does not miss lighting, because any.
You just pulled up
Yeah.
the table,
I
and
did,
it had
right?
every single little thing on it, and I don't see it on there.
I didn't either, that's what I was.
I don't know why I'm thinking that there was something we told DRB that we were going to have to come back to them on.
I know that was signage.
Yeah,
That was
the
signage?
signage.
Yeah.
That was
and
there
it
was,
was
what was the
also,
lighting?
No.
but it was also,
The
if it
signage
was
they
gonna
asked
be
if it was
the,
light.
it was approved, it was commercial grade or something like that was an issue. The lighting we were picking.
Yeah, because it was
not
residential.
commercial, it
and
was
not
residential, and then we had to
Mhm.
find another one that was acceptable from the.
Yes, swear to God, we
ADA
talked about.
compliance.
I don't, I,
Light
I,
How
posts.
far
I
stuck
remember
out
that.
and all that stuff. But that was, they said that we could just pick whatever we want and replace it, but they had to get
Outdoor
past
lighting.
it. Do
I've already, so.
Oh, I thought
it had
that
to
was.
pass
It
with
doesn't
CO.
state-
What's what that table that you pulled up from the DRB meeting?
Uh-huh.
That table should be pretty comprehensive. And if
It
it
is,
wasn't
but
in
it
that
doesn't
table,
say any type of photometric or
then
lighting.
it may not be required per the
Kim?
ordinance.
Do
And
you
see-
recall when you picked the fixtures if there are any spotlights on the building on the corner? Because there's boxes
Oh,
up there.
like out?
Yeah, like above her office on that corner,
Well-
there's a couple of power boxes that are in there. Did you pick spotlights for those?
If you think about it.
Remember, it's in.
Because that would
residential
shine
district.
right down on the
That's-
handicap spot and all that.
Like,
If
like, if
that's in fact what they're for, but I don't know what they're for. There's boxes
Guess,
in the
guess
face
what, guys?
shop,
I
so
don't think it's
know.
in the ordinance only because look at Eford Park. We don't have any lighting in the parking there. Look at this parking place here. Weren't required to put anything here.
Well, I just told him, remember, it's in a residential district, and you know how people can be about lighting, i.e. the tennis courts at,
Yep.
was it your
Right.
neighborhood?
Here's the issue
The-
that I'm worried
The
about.
park is a little different too.
And see, I don't know, but in our ordinance, there's references to village center. And it's been there because once again, it does it in our sign ordinance, it does it in our buffer and all that. And my question / concern, if anybody knows, is even though it's a non-residential use in a residential district, was any of that quote unquote village center district language applied? Because because it was going to be quote unquote the village center district.
I don't think so because because the district did not exist at the
It would be
time.
non-conforming at that point,
Yeah.
Okay,
so.
so as long, but see, when we were meeting about the buffer and stuff yesterday, part of me thinks that potentially the language they got for the buffer was used out of the village center. I gotta go back and look at my notes. But the reason why that could be the reason why that brings my concern or / just maybe need an answer on is because the regulations are different of non-residential uses in a residential district compared to quote unquote non-residential uses in the village center district. And I want to say potentially they used both,
We'll look into it. I'll ask the architect, but I'm pretty sure it's not in the ordinance. DRB would have caught it before now. It's not in that table as we just quickly saw. So I'm assuming it has something to do with it being in a residential in a residential district. We'll look. Regardless, it's not something that we budgeted, so we'll have to pull it out when we get to that point.
Yep.
Figure out where we're
We
going.
wouldn't have got out of DRB if that was required.
The low voltage landscape lighting is not something that was budgeted either, so I'll have to pull that out.
That said, now that we're talking about lighting and getting stuff out there, we have a security system on the inside, which is maybe just do we that include video cameras? And the only reason I'm asking, because now you would want to put or point video cameras out into the parking lot, wouldn't you?
Yes, we are.
Okay, so we're doing that.
Yes.
Has that been installed yet?
No.
But it'd just be shooting out from the thing, not shooting in from the parking lot into the building. Right, so there's nothing really out there.
It's from the building to the parking area.
So
we'll look into
my
that.
point to that is if we do get to where we have to budget for lighting out there, then we would also want to consider security cameras facing that way too. So you have, you know what I mean?
From the parking lot into the building.
Yep. Because looking out, you may just see the parking lot. You may not see what's actually happening right at the door or something like that. I don't know.
I've got, the way that I did the RFP for the security is I did a 360 camera
Okay,
at the entrances,
okay.
the exterior.
Then that should be
entrances.
fine.
Yeah, it should be fine.
Yeah.
It should be covered. But I'll look at
Just,
the,
we'll have to see what it looks like and see what we can actually capture out in the, because you want to be able to capture a vehicle, for instance, that, okay, that was the
You can get
license
the block
plate.
system for the driveway.
The what?
Block.
Block system.
See,
That's what you have.
I have
there's
feet.
fixtures
No,
that are
you
on
For
these
fire
buildings,
department's
but then
block.
there's
So do
no.
we. Want the block.
I'm pretty sure it's not gonna be in the architectural plans. It would be in civil. We'll have to come back to it. I'm a little bit pressed for time, so I'll come back to that and we'll.
So.
And Christina is like, just like chop butterfly.
Yeah.
Move it
I
along.
had a thought, guys, that, and I'm gonna do some more research, but we may be able to add lamp posts on the low voltage.
We're still gotta get on the other side, but we
Yeah.
gotta come from all the
Right,
way.
but if we can run it off the low voltage, that saves us like,
Oh, it
thousands
saves
of
us a lot of
dollars.
money. But I don't know if they have a landscape lighting in the post form.
that's what I was just looking at. I'm gonna do some more research on it, and if I can find
Yeah.
something that works, then I'll come back with that. But that would be a really much, much easier
Better
option if we
fix
can,
at this point.
and plus it's cheaper to run.
So I
So-
crunched numbers earlier today, for the
She's
remaining
like-
funds.
Yeah, she's done with you.
We've got about $90,000 left that we don't have committed, so if we need to tap into that, we can.
Okay.
So,
Okay, well, I'm not gonna come anywhere close to that low voltage, so I'm trying to stay cheap.
We're not done with furniture, so we'll see.
Yeah.
yeah, we still have to get blinds, pictures, decor, that sort of thing, so that's gonna be a good little chunk there.
For the meeting room, we'll need automatic blinds to cover
Which
those.
would be maybe a good reason to reach out to Gene Stowe, because he wants to talk to us about the village Marvin Day. But when I went to the
I've already talked to
premiere,
him.
but when I went to the premiere, in the premiere they had pictures all around in the building and artists that had done renderings of what happened 100 years ago and stuff like that. There were some really cool. I have no idea who owns them, where they're going to put them. I think what better place to put them but in Village Hall, if they were, and just put them on loan. If you know they want to donate them, just put them on loan. But that would be a discussion item for Gene for sure to find out who did all that, because it looked really nice.
Remember, Christina, the touchless blinds?
Yes.
COVID money?
Yep,
And that will tie that you can tie in automatic blinds to that system we
The
got.
system, yeah, as
Yeah.
long as it's Lutron compatible.
Mhm.
Don't do batteries.
okay, moving on to
Well, this would
interior
automatically
lights.
do it when the
Mine
projectors
are
come
battery
down.
operated, and you got to change them every once in a while. It's a pain in the ass.
Oh my God, change batteries, what a pain in the ass.
It is when they're 30 feet in the air.
Yeah, I'll give you that one. You got 16
I ain't doing
double
that.
A batteries you got to throw in there. Yes, it is a pain in the butt.
I don't care how good the workers' comp is. I ain't getting 30 feet in the air.
Okay, guys, moving on to interior lights, the light fixtures, there were 4 light fixtures scheduled to be hung from the meeting room to be selected by us with an allowance of $1,200 per fixture.
What?
Yeah, if y'all don't want them, I can ask for,
Like a chandelier type thing.
something.
In the big meeting room?
Mhm.
Don't we have a bazillion can lights in
Yes, yeah. If you don't want the hanging lights, I don't know where the 4 of them are, we can pull the plans, but if
Is
you
it
don't
something we
want,
can add later?
yeah, but they have a $1,200 allowance per fixture, so if y'all don't want them now, I'll just ask them.
I understand that. What I'm saying is it something, if we don't do it now or stuff it out now, can we add it
I would assume.
later?
They
Or
probably,
would it cost?
capped them.
So,
Yeah.
I would think.
let me ask you this. Wouldn't that be beneficial when we're running the projectors to go to those 4 lights and turn off all the cans so it's not so bright in there?
To have those fixtures.
Switch off the cans, turn those 4 fixtures on.
I
need to see where they
I
are on the
have
ceiling.
no
That's-
idea.
Because that dims it
I would-
right now, like,
I would have no idea what even to start, what would look good in there
I don't either.
for hanging fixtures.
it would have to be a chandelier type fixture.
That's my
Do
point.
you think you want them, or do you think you want to ask for an allowance back?
What
If you want them,
What did they put in, what the
You should be able to
architect?
dim those lights though, right? Are they on dimmers? In
I
those
don't know if
rooms?
they
Yeah,
are or
they are.
not.
They gotta
Are
be
they?
dimmers.
What page?
I
do
think
we go to?
chandeliers
looking.
in that room would look weird as shit.
You think?
I
What
do.
did John
I
draw
don't
in there?
care.
When he drew the plan, what did he draw?
It's not
in
the
there?
worst thing I've said.
Yeah, she dropped the F-bomb earlier.
I must have missed that one.
I know
Today.
because you would have lifted it up.
Not today.
Yes, you did.
I did.
Oh, I'll go back and play it.
She said flock.
No, there was you were very clear.
Really?
Yeah.
Did John draw anything?
Again,
there?
not
Did
the
he
worst thing I've
suggest
said.
I'm looking. No, I mean, he doesn't have any suggestions. The light fixtures were to be decided by us.
it? Okay.
I do not remember that at all, Christina.
I don't either.
And I would like to look at another town hall and
It's
see
E3.
if they did
Look
that.
at E3.
You know what I mean? They say, does this even make sense or
Actually-
does it look right?
E3 and E4. I think it's E E4.
That's towards the back.
I thought I was just gonna land.
The only thing I can think of, Kim, is if we had like a big event and you wanted a chandelier hanging down and had like a,
But you'd have 4.
I know.
That's weird.
But it's a big room.
Essentially, I'm gonna have to pull up.
Yeah, these are kind of in agreement
There you
that I
go.
like that just as
You
wide
know
open.
better what it would look like.
Wide open space up there versus.
Weird hanging stuff.
I just can't imagine, I don't visualize any big meeting room, especially government, that has chandeliers.
Okay,
hanging down.
so each
That's
quadrant
weird.
has a junction box centered for 4 other lights other than cans. So you. Alright, so these are the drop ceiling grids that are up there. This is sheetrock. Okay, right now all the cans are in. I did see these junction boxes up there. They're just open junction boxes in the very centers of
And this
those.
is at the very, very tip top.
Very, very top. So when you walk in, you look straight up, they've got all the lights, all the cans are in, and they're on temporary power right now, so they're all lit up. And they don't have the grids in the rest of the boxes, just the ones for the lights right now. But those junction boxes are in there, those 4, because they're in those tiles.
So,
Do we have can lights on this part of the? this part of-
This is the offices. This is the
That's the
meeting
room.
room right here. So this is when you walk in the
No,
building.
that's gonna look weird.
You just want to cap them.
You said E3 and E4?
Yeah.
There it
E4.
is. There
Just,
it is.
yeah, just cap them for now. I mean, it's. Are they on a separate switch? Doesn't look like
It
it.
said something about switches up there.
No, it doesn't look like it. According to this plan, it doesn't look like it.
electrician's there now if we want to do something.
Yeah, I mean, he
Do
is
it
there.
now.
That's weird.
He's the only one there. But,
That's weird. I think that's so weird.
Okay, so y'all just want to ask for the money? Because I'm getting ready to ask you something else unrelated that's going to cost money.
unless, here's the only thing that I could think of for those 4 places would be ceiling fans.
Way up there, though?
Well, I mean, you put them on a down rod so that you can move air, because that atrium is going to hold heat, and it's not going to be downstairs.
I think it's gonna look weird, like this little box, and then have all this shit up there.
No. I mean, everything is flush on the ceiling. The only thing would be
Yeah,
if
if you
you
drop down poles and you put a fan on them to circulate the air, which
That-
wouldn't look bad.
I don't think it would look bad.
And
it's
depending
functional.
on summer and how things, you want to circulate the air, so make sure everybody
'Cause that room.
gets COVID. I'm kidding.
Well, I can tell you this right now. That room, because it's so high, is going to be cold in the wintertime because all heat's going to go straight up. It's not going to be in the area where we're sitting. So that's the only thing. If you don't keep that air circulated and pushing that heat back down to you, It's gonna be cold in there.
Yeah, so I'd be more interested in a fan.
I say get the money and we'll figure out what we're gonna do with it.
We can always add fans. That's
Yeah.
not
I
a,
mean,
that's
they're
not a
gonna
problem.
cap them.
And there's a new thing called a fandelier, which is a fan and a chandelier.
That
all
sounds
in.
really tacky.
Yeah, it does.
It's in my living room, and everyone.
Thank you.
It's in my living room, and everyone says it's beautiful.
Really?
They've never seen it before, or something like that. So
Okay,
Well,
I'm
I'll
gonna
have to
read.
look at it.
fandelier.
I'm gonna
It's
read
cool.
this next, so I'll talk about not wanting them and we'll see if we can get a credit back for the $1,200 per 4. Alright, next thing is interior design of millwork trim. Alright, so basically the plans kept the millwork trim very minimal to keep the budget in check. After walking the job, the village board may wish to consider a trim package for interior doors and windows, something very clean, 1x6 trim, mitered corners with solid surface or wood seal.
For the doors?
Around every door.
Around the, it looks like it's around the millwork trim, so that would be the workroom and the kitchen area.
So just 2 areas.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, otherwise it's too institutional. If you don't do the trim, I think the trim kind of softens things up, and otherwise if you have nothing, it's very institutional.
I don't know if we don't have anything or if he's just recommending.
I'm just trying to wrap my head around where he's talking about adding trim.
Interior design of the building, i.e. millwork trim, was kept at a minimal to keep the budget in check. After walking the job, they must consider a trim package for interior doors and windows, something very
Interior
clean.
doors.
That's interior. I talked to him about the interior doors.
Interior doors.
And I
they're-
said just clean, like this wide of a trim.
So 1x4 is what he suggested, but they already have a steel trim. I mean, it's the metal casing actually has, it's casing.
I don't know. Whatever he was showing me, there was like a gap between the wall and like whatever was there.
Okay.
And Tyler may not have been looking at the plans
And if
in
it's
that
a
conversation.
small gap, they just caulk that.
I don't know.
Well, generally when you do the steel frame commercial doors, that it's built in
Hold on.
with the casing, and you run the sheetrock behind it so that it is just clean.
I don't know. And there was definitely a gap.
Okay.
Whatever he showed me.
I have
Christina,
to look at it.
what else do you have? Do you have anything else that like is like, oh, what about this? What about that down there?
As far as like other things y'all might want to consider?
Well, yeah.
No.
Anything else you need an answer on?
No. Yes, I mean trees, but aside from that, that's it.
I'm just saying because I mean I may need to go down there and look at it. 'Cause
No,
I have
no.
no idea. Like
Yeah,
I
have to
can't
look at
answer
it
that
too.
question.
Okay, well let's come, why don't
Understand.
y'all take a field trip and then we can come back to that.
Okay, yeah. Is that? I mean, we
Take
could
an
even
individual field trip.
bring it up at the.
Why can't we just recess it over there?
I guess you can.
Yeah.
You have to go and.
Oh, because Austin's never up for a field trip over there. I mean, come on.
He didn't bring his work boots. But it's clean
It's
inside.
clean. You don't have to have work boots.
You won't
It's
have
all
to go
video.
outside, we promise.
No, I'm thinking what I need to do.
Just mess.
Procedure.
All right, what else you got, Christina?
Trees. So, long
I
story-
told them those plants were dead. By the way,
They're not anymore.
they were.
They're not. They were just
Yeah,
going.
they're designed to do that.
It looks like a lawn over there right now. Everything jumped with that warm weather.
So long story short, I don't even know how to pass anything, but the trees that are,
Oh yeah,
I gave you
that's
this.
stupid.
The trees that I've got X's on right here
Yeah.
are all in the right of way.
Giant.
Oh, in the right of way?
Yep.
Well, they're all,
Underneath the utility line.
and and It's
Who
all
put those
good.
in there? Who, landscaper?
Urban.
Well, actually Dewberry did,
yeah. So here's what happened.
Which two
our
berries?
engineer.
Here's what happened, Joe. Our ordinance states this screening. So they just put it in, and nobody caught it. And then I'll take full blame for it because I did not look at this landscape plan close enough, and I found issues now that I should have picked up on months ago. So
I mean, I didn't
I'll
know
take
that.
full credit for it because I missed it. I missed these issues.
So can't we just move them in?
We are.
Or do we
going
need to do a different
displace these? Put them somewhere else.
That's a lot of freaking trees.
There's 12 of them. But Derek has identified some places at the park and on some of the greenways that we can put them
Oh, okay.
to utilize them, and I'll physically go put them in the ground.
So don't we need to still have some screening there for our ordinance?
We have it, it's natural,
Okay.
it's already
But
there.
aren't we gonna cut it down?
No, we're just gonna cut the underbrush out, but the tree canopy that's required by the ordinance is
undercarriage?
already there. It's,
Speaking of which, when is your guy coming in to mark or tag all the trees that they wanna
He
say?
tagged them.
after we get it,
Oh.
after we get the underbrush cleared and he can
The
see.
undercarriage?
Oh, I thought that's what we were trying to figure out, what to clear.
We're not to that point yet. We're only gonna clear the little tiny stuff that's 2 inches or less and grass.
I gotta go buy my bush hog, I wanna try it out
So
here.
what do you
You wanna be
so,
involved in this?
So,
so what do you need to know about trees?
all right, so here's one thing that Joe and I noticed that's not on this landscape plan at all, are 2 mature pecan trees on the other side of the parking lot. So there's one directly behind that tree island, and then one, if you're facing from the building, to the left of it. They're huge. And it covers the arborvitae that are gonna grow between 20 and 40 feet along this
Those are the
property
evergreens.
line, the evergreens that are in.
So they're right in line with it, which they'll die because
Yeah,
of
they
the
won't.
roots, they won't survive.
Right.
Are they already
just
in
gotta
the ground?
remove
They're
them.
already in the ground, but
We gotta
they're underneath
remove
the tree canopy, so when those
We can
trees
put 'em
leaf
over
out,
to-
they're gonna be underneath them.
We could take them out now and move them over to
Right.
Eford
So-
Park.
I've got one dead in my yard. Can I have one?
So here's
Say
the
that.
here's the
In-kind
issue.
contributions.
Jokes.
Here's the issue, okay? We're required per ordinance to have opaque screening along this property line, okay? Has to be evergreen opaque screening. So what we need to do is, if we're gonna take these out, we have to find a replacement understory bush or something to go under these trees to create that bottom 6 foot of opaque,
How many do we have to take out?
about 10.
Is it that many?
Yeah. Because they're planted 6 foot on center, which they're too
Yeah.
close to
The
begin
roots
with.
go out as far as the branches go out essentially,
Yeah.
so anything that's in that frame will likely die.
Yes.
So-
Well, they're gonna get shaded out. They have to have sun. Arborvitae are full sun plants.
But
They
those
can't
things
survive
will
on-
shoot up to 30, 40 feet, right?
Yeah, they're
They're gonna be
20 to
tall.
40 foot specimen tree,
Great. Can I get one of
and
those?
they're like
I got a
8
dead
feet.
one in my yard.
They're about 8 foot diameter and 20 to
They
40
grow
feet
like
tall.
weeds, cause
They
I
do.
I know.
have them in my
Me
backyard.
too. They're awesome.
So,
Okay, so what's your recommendation?
Take out the.
so
10
take
trees.
these
Take
out
out the
and
pecan trees?
no, leave the
I'm
pecans.
kidding. Calm
But
down.
take out-
Calm down, everybody.
Take out what we need in the arborvitae and
Arborvitae.
put
These things are
rhododendron under the
fancy. Oh, I hate rhododendron.
I know, but it's evergreen and it flowers. So, and it's tall and it'll get 6 foot tall. So that gets that screening requirement. So if we put rhododendron underneath those mature trees on the front side,
Mhm.
that gets our screening taken care of.
So, now, at whose cost
But
is
is that
this taken
evergreen?
out? Cause shouldn't they have known not to put these trees?
They should have,
Okay,
but here's the problem. When Dewberry drew this, they did not draw those 2 existing trees on this plan.
Shouldn't that be our engineer's problem?
Yeah.
Yes, it should be Dewberry's problem.
there, again, what I'm trying to get to.
Yes, because this is not on this landscape plan, so the landscaper didn't know any better. He's just putting it in what he bid. He didn't see those trees before this.
So Christina, that means you need to go back to Dewberry and be like, dudes.
Yeah. All right, and then there's a couple other things that, so Keith came by yesterday, he's the urban forester. We discussed this plan in detail. There are a couple other things. This island that is right in front of the building, that tree island, is too small of an island to support the Shumard oak that they have put in there. He recommended, because we're gonna lose a red maple and one of the elms because of those mature trees. They're not gonna fit in there. So what he advised us is to take one of those elms and replace that Shumard oak with an elm, because the elm will fare better in that island, given the
Is it,
Less-
what's it called, an elm? Is that the ones that planted along here? That's an elm, or no?
there's, okay,
Some of the
so
ones planted
here's
along
the-
here that were.
Alright, let me show you this.
I just wanna
so you
know
can
the
see,
names.
Okay, so that you
But
can
I just
see.
wanna know the names. What's the name of these?
These are red maples,
Okay,
okay, with the
Yeah.
thing. The ones with the dot in the middle of the circle, that is the oak.
Yeah.
And then this one with the plus is the elm.
Okay.
And then these are dogwoods. These are understory trees and they'll do fine, but we want to move them away from these so they have some room to grow. The way it's drawn, the canopies are together and that's not good. So just bringing them out centered.
Have they
Okay.
already been planted?
They have not been planted yet, so that's why I'm saying I'm catching this stuff now so that when they go to plant them, it's just adjusting where they put the hole and pop them in the ground. It's not a big deal.
But
Changing this
what's
one's
important in
location is
there-
not a big deal because the trees are on site. They can just
Since
substitute
that,
it.
is that sort of centered, or would that be somewhere where we could put like one of those evergreen trees, like right here, that grow up really big? It could be a
So-
Christmas decoration
So these,
every year. They just decorate it.
so these here along this line, because these are planted 6 foot on center, and these trees
Put it near the
are
roundabout.
8 foot plus in diameter when they're fully grown. Keith and I discussed it, and every other one moving it out, stagger them. We have the room here to do that. Down here, when the trees get to a certain point, we're gonna have to thin them. We don't have a choice because they're gonna grow together and they're gonna become. It's not healthy for the trees to grow, and they can transmit
Yeah,
diseases.
stagger
and all
one
that.
inside, outside, inside,
Right, along
outside,
this
all the way
this
down.
here, which
They're
will make
just
that even
same
a
width.
thicker. Yeah,
Yeah.
it'll make it a little thicker.
Yeah, it'll look nice.
This here we'll have to thin these. We'll just have to cut out every other one when they get to a certain size.
Just, hey, take one of those arborvitaes and stick it near the roundabout.
Near the roundabout.
And then you can decorate it, like towards
Oh.
the corner.
Okay. Yeah, we could put one out there on that far corner there if we want to.
Seriously.
It would be pretty, like out here
Yeah.
in this,
And then we could
in this side yard.
we
That would
could
be
throw
pretty,
some
and
lights
they
on.
like full sun, so it would be.
Yeah.
We could do that. Okay, so right here,
Okay.
arborvitae. Okay,
Yes.
so.
Yeah.
And then the only other
But I still
thing
would-
that I found on this, and I think that they've changed the location of the water line from this drawing. I think it actually runs this way, right here. This pole was not on the plan. That was Union Power that added it, so nobody knew about it. So it shifts these trees over a little bit. This one can stay where it is because I don't think the water line's there. I'm more concerned about this one and this one, just avoiding the water line. That's the only thing, and that's just common sense. But they're gonna drill it wherever it's measured out by the plan because they don't know any better. So that's really kind of a direction for Tyler to keep an eye on to make sure that they're not putting it on top of the water line that comes in the building. Or the power line for that matter,
If they have
because
to move it over a little bit, that should be fine.
this pole that comes off here is the drop for the main power feed that comes into the building. So the water and the power run through here. As long as we don't put a tree on top of either one of them, we're good. It has to be 25 foot off this pole per our ordinance. That shouldn't be an issue, as long as it doesn't hit the lines. And that's
Just notify
pretty much it.
Tyler of that.
Okay, so if y'all are okay with all those changes, I'll need to get detailed report
Yeah,
from
I'll
you,
give you
which I know
everything.
y'all have talked
I'm
about.
fine.
Need to get the urban forester to make sure he's okay with it, and then also make sure it meets our ordinance, and then we'll get it on the.
Well, we discussed all that
Yeah,
yesterday.
we did. What I'll do is I'll just go ahead and finish the cover sheet for it to get it submitted, and then just put in the memo that we'll have the additional documentation at the meeting. Just so it
Well,
makes-
you have it ready now, don't you?
We got the plan,
Yeah,
yeah, but
it's
I can
right there.
scan that in too, but if we wanna have anything, like official things.
Yeah, I'll get with Dewberry and see if they can update it, but I need to get, is that easy to read and understand? Your mock-up?
I don't know. You read it and tell me. If not, I'll change
Can
it. We can always print another copy off and I can revise it so that you can
So
understand
is it just the landscape changes that are going on the agenda?
Yes.
Okay.
And you guys understand the changes and why, right? Okay.
Are y'all good with that?
Well,
Put it in consent agenda.
We are.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was already going there.
Okay.
But I just wanted to make sure that there was more than just me that was understanding this and why.
Just as long as I get a Christmas tree on the corner, I'm good.
All right. Well, that's.
I gotta go.
We can-
Went
we
away
can
from
do
the
that.
front to the corner. You just overrode me. I'm in the front, right there.
Why not, but then everybody can see it when they drive by.
Is there
So
anything
yes,
else?
I overrode
Design
you.
finish, you want to talk about?
Yeah, plus nobody's here for Christmas anyway.
Um,
We have the week off, don't we?
Yeah,
Are y'all,
so it's not for staff, it's for everybody else.
You're right, once again.
Wait,
Christina's trying to move on, guys. You guys can talk
She's
about
right,
Christmas
right
trees later.
Go ahead, what do you
are y'all
got?
good?
I'm good.
Okay.
Are you good?
I'm good. Do y'all want to recess to reconvene down there at 1:20ish so y'all can talk to me, or do y'all want to
Yeah.
go down there now?
Yeah, that's good.
Is that good with you?
What are you
So are
asking?
we,
We're going to recess to go down there now?
Yeah, but we're gonna talk to Christina first,
Oh, that's fine. Yeah.
okay,
since she has a
so,
meeting.
so then I would need a motion to recess the
Hold on, are we
meeting.
good?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you take pictures of the furniture?
No,
I forgot to tell them.
yeah, well, it was just a quick blow to me, and they were in your garage, and I was just
I just wanted
directing
to,
to
Yes.
I wanted to show everybody.
So you've got some of the furniture, I understand, stored in his trailer, but what about the rest of it? Is there a timeline on this when it starts
Yeah,
coming?
it's, I need to check my email.
We're getting, there's very little space in the trailer.
When's the move-in date?
I have no clue.
I'm just messing with Hannah.
So Christina and I should not go shop.
Go crazy,
Just,
shop. We could
FYI.
probably fit a few things, but we'd have to just push a lot back, and maybe some would fit
Tyler's in
a lot.
Cancun right now, so we have no superintendent on the job, so just be prepared that not much is going on this week, moving forward,
Okay.
so.
Everybody gets to take a vacation.
The
Not
only
until
working
not until
electricians-
Village Hall's done. No vacation till then.
Last week of January, first week of,
February.
Or-
February.
Okay.
Well, I'm
Is
hoping
what?
that.
Furniture should
I hope we
be
have
ready.
flooring down by then, because,
They'll hold it for us.
well, I'm just saying, I hope we have flooring down by then.
Well, I
We can
talked
just
to
put it in the
Tyler,
building.
he's not wanting to put furniture in until the, what's it called, the hit list, the checklist, the punch list is completed.
So are you guys ready to recess it down there?
Yeah.
So then I'd need a motion
Okay, so I'd like
to,
to make a motion to recess the special design subcommittee special meeting to New Village Hall at whatever the address is.
10,006 Marvin School Road.
Yeah, that one, at approximately 1:20 PM on January 5th, 2022.
Sound like Biden.
I know.
Okay. You need a vote.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Ward.
I'd like to make a motion to reconvene the design committee special meeting.
You don't need a motion, but you can if you want.
Okay, we're reconvened.
There you go.
All in favor? Aye.
Oh, wow, that looks good.
Andy, it was here, there was a gap here,
Right, I'm
and
saying.
this was not painted white.
Well, I mean, so this is
What's the trim?
this is, yeah, I mean,
That
that's
looks institutional to me. So you put a little trim on it, it's gonna make it a more of a.
well, yeah, do you wanna do that?
We've
I
got
mean, you
black,
wanna
we've got
put,
black, we've got the rubber trim in here.
We do?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing, do you wanna go to the expense of putting a whole bunch of extra trim on this, or, cause once you start doing it,
That's what it looked like.
well, yeah, that's gonna have casing put on it because that's wood, and it doesn't come with casing. This, because it's all metal, it's all one piece, it has the casing attached to it. So here's the thing, we wanna open a can of worms, because if you do it to one, you gotta do it to all of them, make them all match.
Like, what's gonna go in the side there?
That'll be, sheet rock, that'll be finished.
Sheet rock, and then they'll put a little piece in there and then they'll caulk it.
Yeah, there's caulk with sheet rock, it'll be flush finished like the
But
top.
this, to your point, it's gotta go here, you gotta have something. But here, that's what I'm saying, when you get in here, this
fine.
reminds me of,
Oh my god!
this reminds me
Yeah,
of,
bound to happen
it
eventually.
reminds me of high schools, any government type facility, this is
Yeah, but
what
I'm
you have.
okay with this
Well, it's
here.
because it's fire code, so it's metal for
But
fire
if
code.
we do, I think if we do the big fat trim around that, that'd be nice.
Oh, yeah.
But we don't think we need to do it here, but
But
I
to your
think we need
point,
to do it there.
it's gonna have to go everywhere, and that's.
Right. And then do we wanna do,
You can always come back and do that if you really,
Yeah.
but you're gonna, it's unlikely to
do we
get
wanna do
approved.
windows? Probably not. I think the clean look is just fine, rather than going all that extra, because
I do.
it's a lot of expense, a lot of work.
Well, you got, if we're just putting blinds in here,
Yeah.
then, you know, if you do a simple, what do you call it, balance top, a balance?
Yeah, the balance on top, some color, and that's
Right.
good. It's very simple, clean,
Right.
and it's less maintenance keeping it clean. I mean, because now we got to pay somebody that's got to clean 6,200 square foot versus 1,000. the maid bills are gonna go up, you know what I mean? I mean, it's like all this stuff takes maintenance.
Okay. How far is it from here to that wall?
16 feet top of the, around there.
1, 2, 3, 12 feet. That's 9 or 12 feet.
Yeah, 12 feet. 3-foot panels.
How tall are you?
Not even 12 feet.
It's about 12, it is 3-foot panels, the door's 3 foot. It's about 12 feet roughly.
Why?
We got a fucking shit ton of furniture for this area.
I know, and
What did you buy for this?
A lot.
Oh, what?
but I wasn't sure where it was all going, so I don't, you
Christina
know.
and I had this wall, and this wall was 16 feet, and this wall was like 20 feet.
Yeah, you read the wrong plans.
Yeah. I didn't read them.
So these, what are these areas here? Like reception offices?
So this is where Gretchen is. Over here is a plan. It's going to be the conference room, this planning area. Meet with like people that come in, like, lay plans out on site.
Okay.
What?
Was it just that it looked
over
bigger before the glass went in?
Huh?
Did it just look bigger before the glass went in? Is that what threw you?
I don't know. I didn't measure. I asked Christina because I was like, how far do we have from here to here? And we measured out furniture.
This is probably 8-foot wall, 12 foot in depth.
It'll be fine.
Trust me, I got an Airbnb that we can go to.
In-kind donation.
I'll pay you guys, no, I'll pay you guys back.
Okay, so we need to go look at where they were actually talking about doing the trim. Which was right? They were talking about doing it in here.
Like right here?
I don't know where they were talking about, but it said Christine said the break room and the
All right, so
work
this,
space.
if
That's
I'm
gonna
not
be the barn
mistaken,
door.
is the barn door. So that's just going to be a smooth opening.
Yeah.
Where it slides?
Yep.
Yeah, it just slides.
Okay.
And that was to make this doorway a little bit wider and a little more accessible with this kitchen. Yeah, this will be the kitchen. This is the workroom. Printer, all that.
Okay, so
Stuff.
what are we looking at for,
I don't know.
the only thing I see they could put trim on would be something like this, but you're
But
not
we're
gonna
having
do.
barn doors.
Yeah, I
There's no
would
place
rather not
here.
have trim on it, truthfully,
Right,
for
you
the
don't want
bypass,
trim
so
on
it doesn't tear it up.
Yeah.
You don't want trim on it.
And there's no place here for trim, so I'm fine with not having trim.
Yeah, I mean, that's,
Yeah, I don't know where they're
a
talking.
clean look is good with me.
Yeah,
I'm like, why are you following me around? Because you got the tape recorder.
Fitting, it's gonna be a nightmare.
Yeah.
Okay, so
You're a committee. You're supposed to be maneuvering as one right now, working off in different directions.
I mean, I think if you want to do some fans in here, I think that's the best thing. But I think,
I did look up a fandelier. It is fancy look. It is fancy looking.
That was Barbara who picked
So you
that
see
for
the
us.
caps up there, the blanks, that's
Yeah.
the power junction boxes. So if you did do something of that nature,
I would bring fans about halfway between that and the bottom of those things, and that's where the posts come down.
Where's the AV being wired through? Isn't that,
It's
isn't that
the
the
wall.
center?
it's there.
It's over there, so it's
Yeah,
not coming
because-
out of the ceiling?
no.
I don't know
So
what those two junction boxes are up there
the, which ones?
in the middle at the top.
Oh, actually that's power for the, was that power for the?
I would.
That may have been designed for
seriously consider because
I'm not sure.
That's where the video camera.
hot air rises, and in the winter, you're
Yeah,
gonna-
you need
unless
to
you
first
push
push it
that,
down.
push it down and keep it in where people are, so they're not freezing. But you would set 4 fans, nicely well-appointed fans, and I would say the poles would come all the way down to the.
The only place we can put them is where those junction boxes are.
That's what I'm saying. 1, 2, 3,
He's just
4.
saying,
Oh,
hang
yeah,
them,
yeah.
hang them.
Hang, bring them down.
Well, yeah.
The point
But down
where
garage
it
would
would
bring them all the
be.
way down to like 10 foot.
Well, no, I would put them halfway between the bottom of that
steel.
window and above that, the vents.
You
there.
just don't want them getting in the way of the projectors.
Right,
Which would be just above that.
Which is
It'd be
right
above
there.
Yeah, because
And there.
that's the power for the screen and the projector, those open junction boxes. So what we've figured out is they'll hang just below the vent because where we sitting, so there's plenty of room behind it.
Is that
I would
what's
say-
capped? Is that what's capped right there?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I would say, let's check with an architecture. We have a ceiling this frickin' high. You're dealing with a lot of air that you need to either circulate or
Oh, absolutely.
some sort of
You've
temperature.
got vaulted ceilings in your house, don't you? And you know how it goes. I mean, I've got them in mine. My master bedroom's got 16-foot vaulted ceiling.
So my question
I've
is,
got 2 ceiling
since,
fans.
since it looks like they're all on the same switch, do we want to have the fans on?
Well, I
separate
can find
switch?
out. I can find out real quick. Hey, Sparky.
Mr. Sparky?
Electrician named Sparky?
Oh, cool. Is that?
Maybe it's
I don't know if I want my electrician named Sparky.
I can't even think of a good plumber name.
Oh, I got a good plumber.
Who?
What? Bowl?
This is a great recording.
4 J boxes that you have up here in these centers, are they on a separate switch or are they on the same ones?
No.
All 4.
These 4.
4 J boxes are capped in the center of each quadrant.
They are going to be, according to the prints, with the ones in the drop ceiling. The way it's drawn is anything that's still a tile on one switch and the ones that are done.
Okay, so we were thinking about ceiling fans for those, because we have an allowance that we can use to put pictures in them. So, is that something to work with those? Put them on that, put ceiling fans, and move some of there. But they'd have to come on and off of those cans. Right?
Yeah, we have to,
You put them on the boat, I suppose.
yeah, we have to back up and hunt and put some better support. Right now, we're just, you know, there's a brick lip.
Yeah, so they would have to be reinforced for ceiling fans.
Well, I mean, they were supposed to be chandeliers.
Yeah, it was designed for the allowance, $1,200 allowance.
Yeah, but it said on the print, it should say, it's all said on the print, was allowed $1,200 per picture in the video.
So even if it became a chandelier, that's still support the way of chandelier.
No, I mean, we have to go up to the hard ceiling, I mean.
It can be done, it's just, see, I'm thinking instead of chandelier, we're looking at fans to keep the,
So there's no way to split that circuit up and be able to switch that at this point. Is there about homes that are a bunch of extra work, correct? Because at this point, I mean, the only other option would be,
Josh, you know, they talk about another top. Right here.
if we had to turn them on, we can, but we can put remotes in the fans.
I actually,
Ran all the way up.
no, that's an architect's table.
It's supported well.
So you could split it. Even if we would, even if we had to put them on just, I would probably have to run this wall for them.
What's that? This is considered,
It's 88.
yeah, or that, ADA office.
Are we gonna have? Are we having the buttons you push automatically open?
I'll use them all the time.
Well, it's because you're a senior citizen, Joe. Alright, where are these? I want to see what Andy
Look at that. Look at
Here's
the sign.
where we were saying on lighting, we would do this post
Yeah,
and this
these two
post
and
and
the
then
other
too far
ones.
in.
Yeah. But then where was Andy talking about a box for a spotlight?
Like in this
That's already on the building. He said, did you guys do spotlights on the, like, physically, because he said there's a box by
I don't think so. Maybe there.
No. Feels like a low-lying area that couldn't get washed out a bunch. That's the little spotlight right there. That's the little spotlight. I feel like it's gonna be.
Maybe here.
I don't know where he's talking about because there's a whole bunch of those, so I don't know what he's talking about. Can we?
No, we're gonna change all these. This, yeah, because number one, they didn't realize that was gonna be green. And what we talked about is, well, no, what you could take whatever we're using here and just cover this.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Where it's gonna grow up, but you're not gonna see this.
Yeah,
and they
because
can still
that's
have access to
terrible.
it. The problem is,
I thought that was going on the other side.
well, that's,
Two did, didn't they?
yeah. So,
See, I thought it was going to be on the
I
back
thought that
side.
would be on that side too. So it would be,
Wasn't that like the whole argument we had?
yeah, I mean, but it somehow got changed. You got 4 units over here, and there wasn't enough room for the generator.
Right.
So if you look at where the pad is, that's where the generator sits. So all we're saying now that we know where it stubs out, see the gas line that stubs out there?
Yep.
So if that's where the gas line stubs out, then why can't we just move the pad from that point on and connect right there? We're not asking to add any more gas
It's
line.
capacity.
No, you're not,
No, I'm saying like they're saying that the line, the further you get away, it doesn't.
but you're not changing the line. All you're doing, you're gonna connect that line right into the thing. So why not start the pad there and push the pad back, and then you connect it right into there?
Okay.
You should be able to
So
trust me.
what I found out from him was, number one, there were no provisions to mount those boxes into anything substantial. It's written in the notes that it's for a chandelier, so it should have been done by Randolph to begin with to put it up there with something substantial. He can run those, because he's got conduit up there, he can run that to constant power, so we can use a remote for the fans to operate the fans. They just always have power to them, we just turn them on and off with the remote. But Randolph's going to have to make provisions to be able to
Okay,
accommodate the
so we
weight.
need to tell Christina that.
Yes. Okay, so that's the bottom line.
Okay, where are
And
you
I
asking?
haven't seen anything on where we need to put this trim, so
No,
we just
except the
make a
front
note of
door.
it. We don't see it.
Yeah, I don't think.
Except the front door, like on the inside.
Yeah,
Yeah, and that's going to get casing anyway per.
right, because it's wood.
Where are you? Where were you asking me if we had spotlights on the building?
Oh,
That's what I was trying to
Down
figure
here.
out.
And we also talked about lighting in here, that we're gonna run, like,
there's cans in
There's
here.
cans here, and we have really pretty
Sconces there.
here.
Right. So this can be lit up pretty decently under here.
Yeah.
But I
and we were
was
talking about
we were
putting
talking-
lighting
yeah,
under
step
this,
lighting. Yep.
all this, which we can run from probably this side.
Yeah, I can sneak that up and make it disappear with the wiring. But I'm thinking 3 on each step, 1 in the middle and 2. That gives plenty of lighting for the steps so people can see where they're walking.
I think you should have one on the inside. From this angle. Just so that people can see that there's like
We can do that if you want.
you don't think so? You don't think you need it?
I don't think so because, and here's why. This wheelchair ramp's gonna have a
Yeah.
post right here.
Yeah. So nobody's really
You're not going off
way.
that.
Okay.
There was
So nobody's really gonna
Rush,
go off that
and they
way.
may, there's no walkway. You're just gonna be starting here.
Okay.
And there should be a handrail that comes down this way anyways.
I don't know because of the turnaround that there has to be one. There
I
will be
thought
one
it was
there.
the level of height of steps, but that may not be high enough.
So when are they fixing this?
It's still in litigation right now because it was the ramp. Because they changed, Union County changed the ordinance, and so they're fighting it out with the architects fighting it out
Okay.
with the county on that. They changed the ordinance.
When they changed the ordinance.
I'm not sure, and from what I've heard is it's been superseded from 36-inch width, which is federal, and everybody else around here uses, but Union County wanted to go to 48. So it's something, it's an oddball kind of thing. So I don't know. They're fighting it out.
Okay.
So whenever they figure it
So
out.
where's the lighting thing?
So yeah, so there's a box
There's
there.
a whole bunch of them. I don't know what they are.
So that's why I was wondering if those were spotlights.
I have no idea.
Because if they're
They could be
motion
like
activated
security. They
spotlights,
could be for security.
right?
Oh, they could
But
be for security.
they
I
could,
don't know.
Well, yeah, they could be camera mounts.
I don't know.
I don't know. So that's what I was wondering. I know these would be sconces, and that up there.
That's a little hood guy.
I
Oh,
want
no, maybe that's a camera.
I want to say
That's
the
probably
cameras
camera.
the cameras are around each door. There's like
That's probably
That's
a camera.
camera.
yeah.
Those are the little hood.
But that looks like a power box to me, and that looks like a power box to me, and that looks like that was supposed to be a power box.
What is happening with that pipe?
That's the gas line.
Yes.
They're pressure testing. So once that
And is there
passes the inspection, then they'll cut it off and they'll tie it in.
okay. Rail all around this?
There will be rails put on that, but that's not for a little bit.
Look at that.
Okay, so this corner, see the veneer?
Yeah.
That was what I was referring to earlier, the veneer that was shown. Tyler said that he was aware of it and it was going to get addressed. See, the grade has changed a lot since they put that in.
Yeah.
Now that
So
the
they gotta,
grade's finished,
clean that back out and
put,
add.
yeah, and add it and then fill back against it. I just didn't want them to go and throw pine straw in there and say, okay, it's good.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
then down the road we have
Wash
spokes.
out.
So we were talking about what kind of trees. We could probably take some of these and put them around here too.
No,
Why's that?
because they get 8 foot in diameter and 30
Well,
foot tall.
yeah.
They're too big.
So you just have to figure out something that goes
Well,
tall,
it's-
6 feet or
what,
more.
What would go well in here would be some either emerald greens, which go about 6 foot by 20 foot, or you could do Italian cypress, which are tall but very thin. So they'll grow about 18 inches in diameter, and they'll
The
grow
evergreen?
15, 20. Yeah.
Yeah,
they're
but I would
cypress.
rather have fatter and shorter than taller and skinnier.
Well,
It's a personal choice.
I'm just saying.
well, Kim, this is the reason why I suggested the tall and skinny ones, because you plant them close together in here, and they don't take up this entire.
Yeah,
You don't have a whole lot of room in here. You want to keep them off the air conditioner units. So if you got, you can also use sky pencil hollies.
Well, can you put something in the back?
That's supposed to get 8 feet tall, but the problem is it's deciduous. It's not evergreen, so it loses its leaves. So while it would cover it in the summertime, it does nothing for us in the
no.
winter.
Okay, that needs to get moved.
And that's on the landscape plan. I looked it up and it showed what it is, and I'm like, are you kidding me? Who the hell thought that was going to work? So,
I want it.
By the post?
over there by that yield sign?
To the right of the yield.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were. The only thing I want to make sure is that we're back far enough with the power line that we don't interfere with that. But other than that, I think that's a good spot.
Okay.
is that hanging? Does these limbs need to come down?
No, those we're not going to mess with those.
We're
We're
gonna
going to clean out from
all
underneath
around
it,
that,
but
yeah.
those trees, the only thing we're going to do is take that pole oak out of between them that's broke off and laying up in there. The other two we're going to keep.
So would you go to the John Deere place to find a good, what do you call them, brush hog?
Bush hog.
You know what? If I was going to buy one of those walk behind bush hogs, I'd order it from DR.
I just want to go look at it, touch and feel it.
Oh my god. Okay, are we done? Are we done?
Is there anything else that you guys had questions on?
Nope. That's it.
Okay, those are the trees that we're going to have left
Look
over.
into that lighting and get us the fixtures.
Oh,
so we
yeah.
can look
Do
at
you have
it,
your-
but
the
look into
brochure?
the lighting, the outposts.
I need to look to see if there's this stuff.
All right, so I'm gonna make a motion to adjourn our special meeting at I don't know what. Nor am I. 1:50 p.m.
51.
on January 5th, 2022.
All's in favor.
Aye.
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned.
So Kim,